Hello everyone, this is Tom Darling here again with some entrepreneurial thoughts on how to get a new business or a new idea or a new project off the ground when you don't have any money. Since the beginning of time, anytime someone has a new idea, or we're trying to start a business, or we've got a new project we want to work on, the first thing that comes to our mind is, okay, where am I going to get the money? Where am I going to get the time? Where am I going to get the resources in order to make this happen? And a lot of times this stops people dead in their tracks. Writing that 20-page business plan for an idea you have, or a 15-page proposal, only to have to come up with the section that talks about, budget. How much is this going to cost? What we do is we come up with this budget of what it's going to cost to fully implement what it is we see in the, in the finished product. The problem with trying to validate an idea and get something off the ground is a lot of times a lot of people don't have resources or money available to them to be able to make that finished product a reality. If we're going to create a clothing business that's going to be in the mall, we start calculating all the expenses, we start thinking of all the revenue, thinking of all of the stock that we have to put in, hang on the shelves, all the dresses, all the shoes, all these things. The money just adds up, and we do not know how in the heck we're going to get there. And sometimes it just shuts a project down. Part of the way that we get around that when we're starting a new project, a new business, or a new idea, getting it off the ground, is a concept called bootstrapping. And bootstrapping is a very, very popular word and topic, and something you're going to hear a lot in the entrepreneurial community today. But I want to talk a little bit about what it means in real time. Let's say you have a bakery that you want to open. Let's say that you are one of the best cake bakers, cupcake makers, cookie makers that there is in town, and that your husband or your family has been talking about how wonderful everything that you make is. So much so that they say, oh, you should start a business. So you do. You're like, great, that sounds great. So we start putting the plan together, we start figuring it out, and oh my gosh, right? It costs like $250,000 to buy a building, or $3,000 a month in rent, and then I've got the ovens, and then I've got the cost of insurance, and then I've got the cost of marketing. The next thing we know, we're looking at somewhere around $500,000 or more to get this bakery open. And of course, wow, everybody's told me they love what we're doing, and so I don't even know how I'm going to charge. Stop right there. What we need to do, and I've been telling you this in all of our other leadership development series videos, is we have to validate first. And we need to start small. Starting small is one of the hardest things to convince people with a new idea to do before they jump into the deep end of the pool with no life preserver, if you will. Now, if you can swim, it'll be okay for a little while. But there's a lot of people going into business and starting projects that can't swim, or they don't really understand all that's involved. Particularly when you're spending someone else's money, it's real important to make sure you have validated that the idea has merit. So let's say we're going to figure out how to validate the idea and still open a bakery. Well, the first thing we do is we bake a couple cupcakes. And we do it on the only available oven we have. And we use $20 worth of ingredients because anybody can afford $20 worth of ingredients. We put $20, down our mouths when we go out to eat on a regular basis. So we bake some cupcakes. And we start validating, we start testing the idea. And then we go take those and we go out to people to have them take it, test it, eat it, tell us what they think, and then find out how much they're willing to pay for it. And then if people say that they like what it is we're serving, then we go make some more and we sell some. Look, if you can't sell 20 cupcakes, don't you dare borrow $500,000 to open a bakery. We have to start small. And if that means using my own oven, I can do that. So I work for a city government, a very large city government. And every time someone has a new idea for a new building or a new project or a new piece of software, we start pulling cost quotes together, we put RFPs together to go out and to try to figure out where we're going to get the money and trying to figure out how to reallocate the budget. You know, sometimes you just need to do some bootstrapping. And what that means is we just need to take what we have and we need to start testing some ideas. As you heard in the problem solving video, we need to make sure that the problem we're trying to solve is really the problem. And if it is, we need to test our idea. Putting an idea into action means starting small, means testing that idea with things we already have. Here at the city, we have computers everywhere. We have computer monitors and technology sitting in closets sometimes not being used because it might be a little old. We have copy machines and telephones and resources just sitting everywhere. We don't have to go out and buy something new to test an idea. And you know what? The same thing applies to you and your business. What do you have? Do you know somebody that has some skill? If you need to weld something, do you know somebody that knows how to weld? Or is there another way to make a prototype of your product that doesn't require high-end welding just to get a test out for people to look at and try? We have got to back away from the credit card. We've got to back away from thinking we need everything up front, because sometimes we just need to take meaningful action with the idea, and we need to bootstrap with what we have to test our idea, to validate that there's actually a market for it, that people actually will use it, that there's people in your workplace that will actually engage in whatever that solution is. Bootstrapping can be as simple as setting up, you know, a mobile phone to shoot your video. Whatever it is. What do you have around you right now that can help you put together your minimum viable product? The thing that communicates the idea that you're trying to sell, to get people to engage in, as simple as possible, to get it in front of them with what you have. If you want to open a bakery, just go bake a cupcake and find somebody to taste it and tell you what they think, and then find out how much they're willing to pay for it. Don't spend $500,000 opening a bakery only to figure out you're going to go bankrupt in a month because you don't have customers. Spend $20 to bake a couple dozen cupcakes and give them away and gather some data. And do it on your personal oven. And use your own car to drive them around. And use that computer that you have sitting there at home or at the library to create a flyer. Don't overcomplicate the process of getting an idea into action. Bootstrap. Use what you have, and it will save you a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of money, and you can begin your journey to success.